So why don't you guys talk a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis in your jobs?
Sure. Well, I'm responsible for managing all of our main accounts for Statesman and Austin 360. So I'm the one who's posting on Facebook, Twitter, we're on Tumblr, we're on Pinterest, we're on a lot. We're on everything pretty much. We're on Foursquare too. Let's go all the, you know, kind of sink, their ship sink. You know, we're over on Foursquare now, and they've been really cool. So it's that, and also helping set strategy for what we want to do in the future, which is a big discussion we're having at the Statesman right now, is sort of what's the next step. We have, you know, all our presence everywhere. You know, what are some ways we can help generate revenue using these tools? What are some new ways we can sort of individualize feeds for people too? We just got a new social media audience guy who works with marketing upstairs, and I work a lot with him as well. We're right now in the process of brainstorming what new things we can do. So also, like, you know, Canvas apps on Facebook, which I think are going to be even bigger now. So if you guys have seen like the Washington Post reader, you know, sort of in that vein is creating applications using that, and also like iPad and iPhone apps. So you know, I'm part of the conversation when it comes to that, because, you know, there's a lot of elements involved. So and also, you know, just kind of serving as a voice for the Statesman too. So like coming to events like this, speaking to you guys, and we also host the social media awards. So that was a big project that I put together, and just selecting people in the community who were doing really cool things with social media. And yeah, just panel discussions, stuff like that.
So as account manager, one of my main jobs is fielding questions from our clients. So from the very beginning of the project, when we first you know, get sign off, to the very end when we launch the site, I handle all of the communication. You know, we have graphic designers, we have web developers, we have user architects that kind of construct the layout of sites. And so all of that communication flows through me so that I can kind of break it down, because not all of our clients are really tech savvy. So something a developer says that needs sign off from a client, the developer can't necessarily talk straight to the client because the client may not understand what he's talking about. So I feel like that's one of the main keys I took from Cindy's class, is that I may not be, you know, a super expert web developer, but I understand what they're talking about. So I can take that and I can kind of break it down to talk to people who definitely don't understand it.
So, such an important value that communication students can add if they understand the tech part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sort of bridge, I think, is such a crucial role in so many companies. Yeah, and I mean, you know more than you're saying, because I know you like dabbled with code on your job and you figured out to solve problems and things like that. So the more that you know, the more valuable you are.
Exactly. Yeah, and we have, you know, quick tweaks that need to be made to sites that it's not worth me going to talk to a developer to see if they have time to do it. I just jump in there myself if I'm capable, or if I can figure it out without breaking something. Another key part of my job is content strategy. Instead of just porting over all data or content from the client's current site, we actually work with them to make sure it's good for the web, because obviously writing for the web is really different than writing like paper marketing materials. Some people don't realize that, so I spend a lot of time with our clients kind of culling over their content and working with them to see exactly what would be good on their new website. And then at the end of our project, I actually train our clients on how to use the content management systems.
I do some of the similar stuff that Myra does. I manage the HomeAway, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, Tumblr, 5 more, can't even think of them. But also some of the other brands. We also own vrbo.com and vacationrentals.com. So I'll do some maintaining of those social accounts as well. And we also, it's a huge company, and it keeps growing and growing. So there's about 500 employees in Austin now, and I think we just hit 1,000 worldwide. So a lot of times I'll talk with even some of the Europeans on how to use some of the different social platforms and do some basic social training, which the first few meetings were pretty scary, talking to some of the different European countries, because just the language barrier. Do you know what a tweet is? Or
How do you translate tweet?
Yeah. So something else that one of the reasons why I really enjoy my job is there's so many different things that I can do. Not only managing social accounts and content strategy for that, but I've also been a photographer at some of our events. I've created video and edited video and done interviews of some of our CEOs and some of the top execs and posted that. And I've gotten to do even graphic design, and learning Photoshop was huge. You definitely need to learn that just for basic stuff. But I've created images and for some of the contests that we do. And right now we're doing a Pinterest contest, if you're on Pinterest. And so just even helping develop the strategy behind the contest and the whole campaign around that. So it's a lot of different things, but it's really exciting because I get to dip my toes into something different every day. But definitely going into that job, if I only knew how to do Facebook or Twitter and I didn't know how to do those other things, I would have failed at my job. So I think that is another big takeaway, just to be multifaceted and have so many different skills, because you'll be more desirable to anyone who's interviewing you.
So Pinterest is a good example because I believe that company started in 2010 and none of us heard about it until like maybe the past 6 months.
Yeah.
So you were already done with grad school before Pinterest came along. So it's just an example of how you have to be learning new things constantly,
Right.
all the time, and then they become a huge part of your job just like that.
Right, and I started a personal Pinterest account last summer, and I just loved it, and I realized, wow, this is great for any business. And so when I got my job in September, I think that was one of the main things that came in saying, you may not know what this is, but it's so important. And I, backed it up, and I showed how it could be a good thing for the website. And we started an account, I think, in October, November, and it's huge. And it's just gotten huge. So.